town budget is also slipping.
There is, you can always find something to spend money on. So the fabric of the houses are insulated, the quality of the windows, the quality of the cladding, has had a big impact on the budget.
And building, even slowly, demands that you spend in very large chunks.
Well, it's not all counted, but just see the numbers going down. I've lost a lot of sleep.
Ah, si queréis buscarlo en la tele.
The scaffolding comes down, and the wooden skill of their
Ah, sí, ¿verdad? No.
is fully revealed for the first time.
Me gusta ver programas así, está como interesante.
It's got real presence on the road, hasn't it? Bang, it's right there. From down there, it looks massive. It could be a cinema or shopping centre.
No way. I don't think it's that big. It's a statement, but I think it's mellowing off now the wood is starting to...
Yeah.
And that's the nature of wood.
It's snuggling back into the hillside.
Suddenly, I think it's a crag.
No, it's a
Cliff.
beautiful...
Yeah, cliff.
It's not a cliff.
The idea is it sort of blends in, very much part of it.
It's going to be part of the local environment.
This house is perched against the slope. It doesn't hide in it, although John wants to soften its presence and camouflage it in the material of the hill itself. He has spent days collecting stone from the site to clad 3 vertical stripes between the windows on the front of the building. The idea is that this mixture of timber and stone roots the house in the landscape. This is granite, isn't it?
With marble.
Right. A good cladding stone should break into large flat pieces to form a thin skin across the facade. Look at it, it's rubbish. You can't clad a building with this.
There's something so solid.
It's disappointing. All those hours laboriously collecting stone, but it ain't going to work.
Which is why you've changed the plan slightly.
To do what?
I put some aluminium paneling on the side of the house.
And presumably the whole point about using the stone from the hillside in the first place was root the building and refer to the traditional buildings of the place and all that stuff.
Es lo que dijo Ashley.
You across all these decisions. You're not saying
Que ella va a dejar la clase que están haciendo y ahora va a hacer qué
So
cosa.
I don't think I've fully appreciated the issues.
you are at a very different point in the project where it's so new.
Que dicen- diciendo
I
que-
can understand why communication isn't always
¿Qué es algo que dice para cambiar?
Communications also the transmission and the reception.
Remember,
¿Y qué está?
you
En
checked
el,
that the idea that you wanted to
la clase
communicate has been received.
de la cosita.
Yeah. Right.
They might have
Y dice que ella quiere algo
outside
que es
of
un
the
poco
building,
más intenso.
but John and Jill have yet to make many of the decisions about the interiors. So their architect, Nick, is taking them to see a finished hill house. The interiors here are artfully restrained, so as not to compete with the views.
Wow.
There's a few ideas you can see from here.
I'm kind of speechless, really. It's just beautiful.
This is all very tailored and controlled, but I'm not convinced it's the best idea for family life with 3 young boys. You've got children. So are you going to have white walls?
White walls covered in paneling.
Nonetheless, Jill is drawn to the white minimalist kitchen.
Clean, isn't it? It's clean, it's sharp.
Not too clean. John, however, is now a seasoned project manager with a nose for cost.
It's all lovely and clean towards, but we just don't have the same way.
I really believe we can achieve this feat on a budget very cost.
I think it's and I know we're going to run out.
Over the next few months, John and Jill attempt their own budget version of glass walled sequence. Jill's choice of kitchen is height and handles. Yep, but it's an economy model. Their one extravagance is the staircase, made from ash and detailed with vertical slabs.
Okay, well, you've done a bit since you were last in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look,
Oh yeah, look, very, very tall spindles.
as you come up the stairs, you'll be able to see through the slabs. Can't wait for that.
It's a lovely piece of property. Bespoke work doesn't come cheap, of course. The staircase is costing £5,000.
This is the single most beautiful thing in the house. So therefore, it costs.
With the end now in sight, John and Jill are saving money by taking the painting and decorating into their own hands.
We are now, I think, really close to the end, but we're on a bit of a timeline now if we really want to get in. There's still so much to do.
Can't wait to see that coming up the stairs every day.
But at Christmas, around the time they had hoped to move in, there's an unexpected sting in the tail of their project. Just when they least expected it, ground workers have returned.
At the moment, we are preparing ourselves to connect the utilities to the house. This has been something that should have been sorted out from the beginning of the project. The biggest problem is the fact that the connection point to the utilities is quite a long way down the road, and this has proved to be very expensive.
Even though John's plot is surrounded by other houses which all receive power and water, his site, it seems, is a rare utility black spot.
You've been very lucky on that. You're in basically a street, aren't you? As a layman, you just imagine that everything would be coming by your head. Unfortunately, you work all day. Big time. Unfortunately, there was no water or electric outside the property. It's 65 metres down the road. So what should have been quite a £5,000 job is cost considerable expense.
Where we're at now is about £40,000. You want a massive equipment bill like that right at the end when you're looking around your bank balance, which has started here. It's now bottoming out down there.
For just £24, John could have bought a map of the utilities back when he bought the plot and avoided this awful shock.
I've spent everything, and £40,000 in anybody's is a lot of money.
John and Jill have no choice but to borrow the money from their family. It's a somewhat humbling gesture and very poor.
I'll be paying that off for the rest of my life, answer. As a pilot, the guy that ultimately takes responsibility, the guy that's in charge of the aeroplane, that's why I'm in charge of the hospital. I'm aware that the failure isn't somebody else's, it's all down to me, which adds an extra level of pressure as well. Yes, I just want to let people know I love them.
So now this trench, how long has the road been closed for?
3 weeks so far.
So to do this at this stage though is particularly cool.
It was a mistake. Basically, the house should be sort of coming up to finishing, putting the floors in, doing the painting and stuff, and now I've got the song in front of my house.
Yeah. How's this painted the project?
Yeah, I certainly fell out of love with the house, which is who would have thought, eh? Sometimes you have to go with a gut feeling when you buy a portrait.
How much money in this world do you think has been wasted and that has been lost to those 4 small words, eh? Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
What about Who Dares Wins?
Who dares end up with a massive utility bill?
Oh, yeah. Who Dares Wins, Rodney? Who Dares Wins? I asked John, and he said he's out of love at the moment. Have you fallen out of love with it?
I've certainly had a lot less love for it recently, because I see what it does to John and how down he's got and the whole concept of will it ever end. But I hope that once we've built and once we're through, he'll be able to look at it and go, it's still beautiful, it's still stunning. I'm glad we've done this.
Even the most beautiful buildings can sometimes have difficult births. construction, a project can be so demanding and unforgiving, it forces you to ask whether you should have begun.
I've never anticipated self-building being this hard. People said to me, John, don't be down. It's only a house. But to me, it's all the other things. All the money, all the future, the career that's been put on hold for so many years. Moved from the other side of the world. All those things that we gave up. I so hope the house is worth it. I hope so. I really hope so.
It's been 2 years since I first met John and Jill, since they began their house-building adventure against the mesmerising backdrop of the Malvern Hills. Look at that view. It's not typically British. It's not a patchwork of fields. It's open. It's woodland and grassland, and there aren't even any visible fences in it. It's very, very New Zealand. No wonder that John and Jill bought this place. What it reminded them of. And look, over there in the corner is a timber building, hugging the hill, and also not typically British. A building that looks positively antique. Emerging from behind an old oak tree, what looks like a wooden cliff seems to have pushed its way out of the hill. The recessed vertical glazing panels suggest this place is a lookout. It is not a light, delicate building. It's a powerful bruiser that commands the landscape. Last time I was here, this road was closed and the whole place was a mud bath. But it looks like John and Jill may have snatched victory from the jaws of the trench. Hello.
Hello.
Shall we coming?
It is.
You look very smart, the pair of you. Just as well turned out as your house.
Sen fick fått den typ.
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah.
A ver,
Very lovely. It's very finished. It's extremely stylish. Should wait for the levitate. Yeah, so it's
sería como aguantar el shift, hold.
set right against the
¿Qué tiene
road.
que hacer?
This house was always going to loom over cars and pedestrians, but its impact is softened by the curved corner. From here, this looks like the bull-nosed prow of a ship is called.
Y si lo aguantaste,
Prefer it unglazed. I'm pleased it isn't glazed yet. It's kind of more solid like a prow. We've even given it a nautical name.
We have.
The endeavour that Captain Cook took around New Zealand.
Yeah, so we even use the script that you put in
¿cómo lo hiciste?
What? That's his handwriting.
More or less.
Nice cross-cultural reference. And it describes also the years of effort and energy and pain we put into
Yeah. I just think it encapsulates the whole concept of what we've done and how we've done it and just quiet.
And you were able to use the stone.
We were,
did with my own hands.
Now it's sort of like a landscape of terraces.
and they are of the hill,
Yeah,
taken
from this
out,
ground
relocated.
to blend in with the environment, which is very much what we trying to achieve, as much as we could.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Like a sort of vine terrace in Italy. It's international.
Yeah.
Like you. Let's go in. Through the front door, which I've never been through because, well, you'll never be able to get anywhere.
It's a building site.
It was a building site. It looks really narrow.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a bit like an inverted pyramid.
Yeah.
We begin the journey. I'm very excited to go up these stairs. The tiny ground floor is a deceptive aperitif. This house draws you up, expanding as it goes. On the first floor, the boys have 3 identical rooms, and the family bathroom looks onto the forest. While John and Jill's bedroom occupies prime lookout position at the curved corner of the building. This is your room, right?
It is, yeah,
Little old
master
suite.
bedroom.
Oh, it's great. It's like a tower because of that curved wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
The centerpiece and spiritual core of this place is the ash staircase. Its open treads and stretched balustrade throw shadows and light in gently changing shapes. Staircases and landings are often so dull, but this is completely mesmeric. The patterns it makes, the light on the wall.
It's the spine of the building, the vertical column, connects
access all.
It is the spine, it's even got vertebrae. Really beautifully done. The staircase propels you upwards to the family living space on the top floor. Up into the light under this grey skylight. This floor is semi-open plan, a simple kitchen that guardedly enjoys that New Zealand landscape outside. This is your main act, isn't it?
It is.
No seamless giant panes of glass here, but very organised framing of the views, as though the house protects you from too much exposure. That is beautiful. It is quite high, isn't it?
Yes.
It's fairly vertiginous looking down onto the road. You don't ever need to fly again, do you, John?
That's right. It is like fun.
Wonderful as this is, unconscious, the kitchen only takes in half the view, because John and Jill partitioned this space to make a spare bedroom. One thing just slightly wrecked in my mind about this room, and that is that view that way, which you've got in your bedroom, you deprive yourself of.
We don't need that because we've got all this here.
And the guests have a front seat.
Where would you look if you put too much to them?
It's true, you cut yourself chopping the vegetables.
You would.
And more of it out here.
Yeah, so come to the treehouse.
Oh,
It's a big open tree house.
it is. There's so many things going on here. You look out and you appear to be in a balloon, flying over that landscape. And then you look back and you're tucked into the woods, and then there's a tree which is right up here. Something up in the canopy. It's a whole range of organised experiences that the building is kind of,
Nudging
nudging you towards. Yeah. Very neat. People make a big play of massive views, huge windows, and single statement. This is more complex, far more constrained, and in a way, I think, probably more rewarding. Do you have a target?
I promised myself never to become complacent with you, and always to marvel at what you have.
I think it really delivers.
Thank you.
But what of the back? The living room that used to look straight out onto a cliff. Quite a large room. This is your winter sitting room.
It's our cosy hideaway.
Interesting, very deliberately, that dividing wall which also cuts off half of the view. It deliberately forces your attention. Yeah, this way. Actually, where's the hill gone? How have you managed that?
A trick of the light, perhaps.
No, it's a trick. It's that trick of the excavator, more like. This was much steeper, much closer. You have done work to remove and cut this back.
Beyond,
Grass at the top, so that actually is usable space. Beautiful staircase, straight out of Game of
Antes era
Thrones.
solamente parte de lo...
And Wildflower Meadow. I mean, it's a joy.
This is an absolute joy.
I thought this was going to be a horrible hellhole. I was expecting to see more of that black plastic.
Oh,
How very dare you!
And there's more.
oh yes.
Yeah.
The very continental terraced gardens cool the temper of this bulwark of a building and soften it. At the back, where the top of the inverted pyramid kisses the hill, it seems single story.
¿Lo quito la cosita?